Hi friends, a lot of people are investing in data center stocks without even understanding what is a data center. They do not even understand what is the business model of a data center company, how a company is able to generate money using the data centers. They are also not able to differentiate between what is a true data center stock versus a proxy data center stock. Therefore, they are only blindly investing in these companies. Therefore, I am creating this video for you to get a complete picture, clarity on the data center companies. Every word I speak will be backed by data so that you get a good clarity. And also in this video, I'm going to talk about two data center stocks, truly data center stocks that will bring you a lot of clarity. If you're new to my channel, please don't yet subscribe to my channel. Watch this video without skipping. And if you gain some knowledge, then you can become my subscriber. With that, shall we get this video cracking? Let's go. Let me start with what is a data center and let me give you 30 seconds non-IT commentary about what is a data center. Let us take an example that you are about to watch your favorite web series on Amazon Prime. Let's say Panchayat season 4. It is about to be released. What happens the moment you press the play button? A request goes to Amazon's data center that you don't even know where it is. What happens within this data center? This is a very big, imagine very big physical building. Inside that building, there will be lots of servers. What are the servers? Servers are supercomputers that can process any request. So if you're asking a server to play a video, the server can do that very easily. It knows where to go and look for that movie, which might have been stored somewhere in the storage. There are racks of storage within a data center where the data is physically stored. So the server's job is to look at the request that is coming out from a laptop device or from a mobile device, go and find that video clip in the storage and simply render that particular clip back to the device from where the request was coming. So servers are supercomputers, you can understand. There is a storage within the data center. Also, in order for this entire data center to work, there needs to be a huge demand of power that it needs, because all these computing devices need a lot of power. So there needs to be a power supply to this data center. In the process of generating the data, there is a lot of heat that gets generated. So these devices need to be kept very cool, and hence the concept of cooling inside a data center comes into picture. Now again, I'm not going into details of what is a thermal cooling, what is a liquid cooling. That is mainly for advanced discussion whenever we have the time to do it. But essentially, this is what is a data center. Now, how are companies making money out of data center? What is the business model here? Very simple business model is, think about Hindustan Unilever Limited. They are into making soaps and shampoos. Their business is not data center business, right? But they have to cater to the data processing. For example, their customer data, their billing data, they have to store this data somewhere. They have to run analytics on this particular data. Rather than doing all of this, which traditionally they have been doing, they have been having all these servers, storage on their own premise. Nowadays, they don't need to do that. Thanks to data centers. What they can do is they can outsource all of these data operations to a data center. For example, a data center company can give HUL data center capability on rent, and they can collect annual rent from Hindustan Unilever Limited. That is the entire business model of data center companies. Now the $1 million question is, why there is such a hype about data center stocks? For example, Ambani's Reliance, they are getting into data center big time. $30 billion of planned investment, and they want to create the biggest data center in the world in India. Also recently, you might have heard about Adani getting into data center space as well by investing $1.44 billion with a joint venture with Connex. For this, have a look at my screen, and what you will note is that the data center theme is likely to grow at 25 to 30% CAGR by 2030. If you look at the current capacity, which is by April 2025, we had around 1263 megawatt. It is going to go up by 4500 mega. You might be wondering, why am I talking about megawatt here when it comes to data center capacity? Please understand, this is an extremely important point. Whenever you are analyzing a data center company or investing in a data center company, you need to ask, what is the data center capacity this company is going to build in megawatts? Megawatt is the measurement of the electricity. Data centers use a lot of energy. More energy they use, more processing power, more data storage they will have within their data center. Therefore, the data center capacity is expressed in how much of energy a data center consumes, and that is what is expressed in megawatts. Again, I'll give you examples of two stocks and I will talk about how much of megawatt capacity these companies are building so that you understand this practically. But whenever you're investing in any data center company, the first question you need to ask is what is their current capacity in megawatt and what is likely to be their future capacity in megawatts. Very much like order books we look in many other capital intensive companies, this is what we need to focus when it comes to data center stocks. Now, coming back to this growth of 25 to 30% CAGR, why all of a sudden this growth is coming up in India? Three main reasons you need to understand, and I'm going to only talk about very briefly. Reason number one is that the cloud computing and AI in India is growing at a massive rate. We all know that. And because of the fact that AI only works on huge data processing, you need data to be stored in an organized, structured way so that AI can work on it. And for that, you need huge data centers. Again, I'm not going to read out these numbers for you, but cloud computing and AI is one of the reasons there is a significant growth expected in data centers. And number two is the digitization of Indian economy. As per this report, India now ranks third largest digitized economy in the world. If you look at in the past 5 to 7 years, the amount of data we have generated in Indian economy is huge. Be it UPIs, be it FASTags, be it DigiLocker, be it so many things that we have done, huge data has been generated by India, and this data needs to be stored in a structured manner so that we can use AI on top of it to be able to bring some meaningful insights. Therefore, the growth of data centers is likely to be there as more and more processes get digitized. And the third main reason is government support. Again, I'm not going to go into details of these policies, but there are three policies that I will point to you. Please Google these policies, read about them, and you will understand. The main point you need to understand here is that Indian government is saying is that all the data that we generate in India needs to be in India so that we can protect our interests when it comes to data. And therefore, there are these policies which are helping growth in the data center theme. Now, this basic context is out of the way. Let me now move into two truly data center stocks and bring you a lot of insights, data-backed insights, so that you understand these two stocks very clearly. Before I do that, just like the huge growth anticipated in the data center theme, if you also want to grow your business, try Odoo, the partners of this video. Odoo is a business software that comes with more than 45 applications including sales, finance, HR, inventory management, and much more. But rather than hearing from me, you can discover Odoo yourself by attending a massive networking opportunity brought to you by Odoo in the form of Odoo Community Day 2025. This is a 2-day event happening on 13th and 14th of August at Mahatma Mandir, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. It's a completely free event, but the reason I'm speaking about this event is that you will have an opportunity to attend more than 200 plus talks and live demos by experts. You can attend influencer talks and guest sessions. You can learn from real businesses and entrepreneurs. You will have an opportunity to network with 20,000 plus business professionals, entrepreneurs, and influencers. You can also discover the latest version of Odoo, Odoo 19. And last but not the least, you can network, eat, enjoy the concerts and after parties. The link to Odoo Community Day 2025 is in the description and in the pinned comments. Share this link within your network so that your loved ones can take advantage of this massive networking opportunity. With this, let's move to stock number one, which is Anant Raj Limited. Have a look at my screen, and what you will note is that this company used to trade back in 2023 almost at 100 rupees level. By the time January 2025 came, the stock had hit 900 rupees per share stock price. Almost 9 times return for investor just within 2 years of time. But what happened in January 2025? The stock started to come down heavily. Why? The main reason was the DeepSeek news that came into the market, that there is a new model by a Chinese company, so on and so forth. And a lot of data center stocks started to tumble down like anything. Anant Raj was one of them. The reason I am sharing this information with you is that please understand there could be any time a technological disruption which might cause a short-term pressure in stocks like these, because technology is moving at a very fast rate. But also at the same point, you need to understand that these companies who are investing billions of dollars of money into data centers, they're not going to lose just like this. So in my view, these fears might present good opportunities to accumulate companies that are showing future potential, future growth potential in the next 5 to 10 years. And for that, you really need to understand the fundamentals of a company. So allow me 2 to 3 minutes of time. I'll take you into the deep analysis of this particular company. First point is that if you look at the P&L statement of this company, what do you note here? Extremely very good top line and bottom line growth here. In fact, if you look at trailing 12 month, sales growth has been 39%, last 3 years 65%, profit growth if you see 100% growth in last 3 years. So fundamentally the company is doing very well. But please note that none of these revenues are coming from their data center business. Not even 1 to 2% of these revenues are coming from data center. This entire revenue that you see 2000 crore as of March 2025, majority of it, 99% of their revenue are coming from their real estate business. Only 1 to 2% only towards the October 2024, they started to bring some money from the data center business. So let me now take you to their business model. They have two types of businesses. One is that they're constructing residential flats and they're selling them off as any normal builder will do. Secondly, they also have annuity businesses. For example, they have IT parks, they have hotels, they have commercial buildings, and what they do is they give these buildings out on lease, and this is where their annual rent comes in. Data center is part of their annuity business. Please understand this very carefully, that they are building data centers. Their plan is to rent these data centers out. As I took an example of Hindustan Unilever Limited in the beginning of this video. So they are going to get annuity income, which is almost fixed income every single year. And as their data center capacity grow, their annual business revenues are also likely to grow. Now let me walk you through what exactly they are doing in terms of their data center business. So if I come down here, you will note that their vision is that by 2031, they want to have around 307 megawatts of data center capacity. So they are going to be around 7% of market share. If I use this number divided by 4500 megawatt capacity that India will see by 2030, that's what we saw in the earlier slides. So typically around 7% of the market share. All of this is in future. We are trying to learn it, trying to make some informed guesses here to see whether the market share is likely to be around 6 to 7% in my view. Now, if I talk about the current capacity of their data center, have a look at it. 28 megawatt is what the company is projecting by Q1 FY26. So they're building 3 data centers as of now. Number 1 is in Manesar near Gurgaon. Second is in Panchkula, which is in Punjab. Number 3 is Rai, which is a city or a town near Sonipat, again in Punjab or Haryana, wherever it is. These are the 3 data centers they're building. By Q1 FY26, it should hit 28 megawatt of capacity. Also, more importantly, what you need to know is that they have launched something called as Ashok Cloud. Ashok was the name of their chairman or founder of the company. They have named their cloud business on Ashok Cloud, like Amazon Cloud, for example. And this is very important business segment that you need to understand. Why? Because the revenue growth from this Ashok Cloud is likely to be huge. Let me present some data to you. So what you see is that this business started to build some revenues from 7th of October 2024, right? They had built around 0.5 megawatt, and here is the revenue translation. 0.5 megawatt is around 75 crores of revenue every year. So 1 megawatt is around what? 150 crores of revenue. Now, how much of megawatt of Ashok Cloud they are likely to have ready by 2027? So let me present to you that data. So as per their management commentary back last year, what their management was saying is by 27, they are likely to have 63 megawatts of total capacity. Out of 63 megawatt, 14 megawatt is likely to be the Ashok Cloud. Right? So let us say by 27, they have 14 megawatts of capacity when it comes to Ashok Cloud. 14 megawatts multiplied by 150 crore a year. That translates into 2100 crores of yearly revenue coming from Ashok Cloud after 27. This is sort of a revenue that you can see this company can generate through cloud. Now, of course, there are a lot of assumptions here that they will have to have 14 megawatt of capacity by 27, right? I don't know whether they will be able to achieve it or not. Nobody will be able to tell you whether they will be able to achieve it or not. These are some of the numbers that you need to start working with as an investor, because you understand what is likely to be revenue growth in the next, let's say, 3 years, 4 years. So this is why the company is trading at a very, very high PE as compared to many other real estates. And that's why you see how the price chart was going up. Now you understand, now you get this clarity why the stock prices were soaring like anything, because this was all talked about last year in October 2024. How much of this they will be able to achieve? Nobody can really tell you. This is a risk as an investor you take. And more importantly, what you do is you start tracking companies like this on a quarterly basis. You go to their con calls, read these con calls, understand where they're going, so that you know when to enter into a stock, when to exit a stock. Do not just rely on technical analysis. I'm not saying that technical analysis is bad, you should not use it. You should absolutely use it, but use it in conjunction with the fundamental analysis. So I hope this gives you a lot of clarity about Anant Raj in terms of where their business is going on. Right now, if you look at the PE ratio, it is around 44. It is not too high in my view. Of course, if you look at, you are only comparing this with the real estate businesses here, but we shouldn't be really comparing them with real estate business, because if you're only investing from a data center theme perspective, you really need to look at how much of revenue their data center business can bring in, how much of profitability, how much of the margin, and this is how you go about analyzing the business. Please do not take this as a recommendation here. My job is to really educate you in the right way. Finding the right information fundamentally will help you make the right decision. So far, if you're liking this video, request you to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comments a simple thank you. It motivates me to do a lot of research for you at zero cost. Also, if you practically want to learn investing and learn various assets, for example, mutual funds, stocks, ETFs, etc., you can consider joining my YouTube community. I post almost on daily basis on my community, exclusively for my community members. You are going to learn a lot and you are going to become a very, very good investor in long term. Go to my channel, click on join button and be my guest. With that, let's move to stock number 2, which is Techno Electric and Engineering Company Limited, a truly data center company in making. What you need to know about this company is that this company operates in the power sector. They have been into power generation, power transmission, power distribution, as you can see here in their order book as of March 2025. Total order book, if you see, is around, this is all in million rupees, so it is going to be around 10,951 crores worth of order book. So very, very healthy order book, which is primarily driven by power generation, transmission and distribution. Because this is a power generation company, it is very easy for them to enter into data center, because data centers also need a lot of power. So there is a synergy here. And if you look at their data center order backlog as of March 2025, it is around 64 crores worth. So it is not huge, but yes, they're slowly building up data centers. If you look at their P&L statement, what you will note is a very, very solid growth in top line as well as in bottom line in the recent 2 to 3 years of time period. Compounded sales growth in the last 12 months have been around 51%. Profits have been growing at around 41%. So huge growth is what in the last couple of years is what we have seen. And very, very recently, they have won a data center specific project from RailTel Corporation of India Limited, where they have signed a contract with RailTel for around 10 megawatts of data center in phases that they are going to set up. So this is a good win for them in the data center space. But more importantly, if you look at their vision about data centers, their management says that they are about to build around 102 edge data centers across India. You can see this map here, okay, and wherever there is a red ribbon here, you see this is where they are going to build edge data centers. Now, what is edge data center? Simply go and Google it. You will find that these are physical data centers which are located very close to the client location, so that the latency is not there, the speed is good, and so on and so forth. Again, I'm not talking about the edge data centers in detail here, but this is what their plan is. Now, if you look at what they have achieved so far, they have already set up their first edge data center in Gurgaon. It is functional now, around 200 kilowatt. It is very, very small in the bigger scheme of the things. But what they're now planning to do next is that the big data center is going to come up in Chennai. And this one is going to be around 36 megawatt of capacity. This is something called as hyperscale. Again, you will understand about hyperscalers if you read about the data center ecosystem, but this is going to be one of the hyperscale data center, around 36 megawatt of the capacity. Now, this is huge in my view, because again, if you read a lot of commentary about this particular data center, what their management is saying is that this data center is going to be unique in the sense that it is going to have higher density of racks on an average compared to the industry. This is where I meant earlier about technology as well. As the technology evolve, The racks that are used in data center, they need to get to the higher density so that they can store more and more data, but they take less space, right? These are some of the technological advancements that might be a risk for companies like this, because if they put a lot of money investments into, let's say, racks, they will need to replace them very, very quickly. Again, I'm giving you all of these commentary as we go along, but coming back to this one here, the uniqueness is that higher density of racks. Also, they are going to use water as the coolant in this particular data center. This is the only data center in Chennai where it will use water. So the point here is that this company seems to be building data centers that are looking slightly advanced as compared to what we saw in Anant Raj. Again, I'm not saying that this is a better company, but again, you need to understand the differences like these. Now, if we talk about the revenue generation of the data center segment for this company, per megawatt, they're saying revenue might be around 11 to 12 crores per year. So if you're looking at, I don't know, 36 megawatt of capacity from the Chennai one to be completed in this year, it might start to give them revenues of around 360 crores or thereabout. But please understand, they're building the capacity right now. It doesn't mean that revenues will start flowing from day one. They will have to find clients. They will have to make it operational. The billing will happen. It might take a year or two. And therefore, the company's guidance is that for FY26, you should assume around 100 crores of revenue coming from the data center space. And for FY27, you should only consider between 300 to 350 crores. But in addition to this guidance, the company's overall guidance, if you see, they are projecting around FY26, they are projecting around 3,500 crores, and FY27, they are projecting around 4,500 crores. And if you look at the current revenue, it is around 2,200 crore as of March 2025. So by 27, if they meet this target, their revenue is likely to double, which is 4,500 crores. This is looking a significant growth in my view. Again, I do not know whether they are going to hit this revenue guidance or not, but these are the insights that you need to understand before you invest in a company, because you got to look at the forward PE ratio, not the current PE ratio. Although if I talk about their current PE ratio, it is at around 44, not too high. And if you look at the trend of this PE ratio in the last 1 year or so, it actually had come down because of course the earnings are going, the stock had seen some correction. It is now trading at around 45. The median PE in the last 1 year has been around 51. Again, I'm no way telling you whether you should invest in this company or not invest in this company, but this commentary will help you understand what is happening in the data center stocks, how to go about analyzing data center stocks. If you're new to my channel, request you to subscribe to my channel. Like this video, let me know in the comments a simple thank you. Also, do not forget to check out Odoo Community Day 2025 happening on 13th and 14th of August. The link is in the description and in the pinned comments. Take advantage of this massive networking opportunity that Odoo is bringing to you at zero cost. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, press the like button. Let me know in the comments a simple thank you. I look forward to see you in my next video. Until then, keep rocking.